Hello, welcome to a weekly waffle of some description. I just haven't been YouTubing as much as I should be, so I'm gonna get back on that. This week's video is all about downsizing your life. Now, anyone who's ever met me, seen me pack a work trip or a holiday knows that I have some serious issues traveling light. I always pack to like maximum transatlantic 23 kilograms. I mean, a lot of the time it's because of work, and I'll do like a live stream like somewhere in America, and sometimes there's a makeup artist, sometimes there's not. So I'll have to bring like makeup kit and hair stuff, and then they want like options of clothes to wear, so you bring like a bunch of different clothes. I'm just making excuses basically as to why I am a terrible human. This vlog is all about downsizing because I am going to downsize my life in a really savage manner. I've been thinking about it a lot, because I'm gonna get like a bunch of free stuff. I've like hoarded a bunch of stuff. I've had like a whole flat and loads of furniture and all this kind of things like over the years. I wanted to do this anyway because I feel like getting rid of things is actually a really positive thing to do. Just because stuff is just pointless. I mean, as long as you have a really nice 4K TV and a games console, what else do you need? I was thinking a lot about downsizing my life and getting rid of a whole load of stuff, and then as the fates would have it, in my personal life I've had to now do this because I recently split up with my partner. I have a 1-bedroom flat, so I'm now having to move in 2 months' time, and I can't move to just another 1-bedroom flat because it's just going to cost the same amount of money as the 1-bedroom flat that I'm in, and at the moment it's like eye-wateringly expensive. It's not sustainable long term. I'm going to now have to downsize in a really significant way because I'm not moving in with anyone. I'm gonna have to move into a room in like a flat because I'm not quite sure how things are gonna pan out over the course of the year, like what I'm gonna be doing or where I'm living or that kind of stuff. So I don't really want to sign up for a year contract and be stuck somewhere. Julie's moving from an entire flat into a room. Again, anyone who's ever met me will be like, which roughly translates as, that's impossible, I've seen what's under your bed. There's storage in some very odd places here. Even my wardrobes are set away from the wall to put more things behind them. So it's gonna be an interesting journey into downsizing. I've actually started already. Basically anything that I really want to keep, I'm gonna basically get my parents to come over. I've got 2 months, so I reckon like 4 trips over the next 2 months. I'm gonna get my parents to come over for lunch, then I'm gonna fill up just the back of my dad's car, like the boot, with the stuff that if I move back into a flat, like a normal flat, I could have with me, but in a room it doesn't really make sense. So like keepers effectively, and then anything else is just gonna get bin. I mean, well, taken to the charity shop. The thought of this when I came back from America last week actually worried me significantly because I came home and I was like, oh God, I've got so much stuff. As I was trying to sleep, which didn't really help. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I've made a little list, little areas that I've got to go through, and I'm gonna be so brutal. It's gonna be disgusting. I'm gonna have like 3 things left, I think. All right. I'm actually quite excited about it. I like the idea of kind of streamlining my life in some way, just because it's so easy to just accumulate crap, right? And moving in here, where I was before, and the nature of like my partner's job meant that I kind of had to do all the moving myself, and time ticked away. And instead of kind of, before I moved, culling everything, it just got so late, I was just like, oh, just throw it in boxes, just move. Which meant that I had an awful lot of crap, and over the past 3 and a bit years I've slowly kind of got rid of stuff, but then more stuff's turned up. It's a never-ending cycle. I mean, my wardrobes are kind of like at maximum capacity. It's kind of like a 1 in, 1 out. It's like a club in case there's a fire, sort of a strategy. I could, ooh, doorbell. Talking of downsizing, it's a delivery. More crap turning up. So it's from Amazon. Actually, I know what it is. It's, I bought some sport headphones because I needed a backup pair because I was using my really nice Bose ones all the time, and I was a bit worried that they'd get a bit wrecked because they're just good, like really good quality, and I thought I'd just get some rubbish ones, but then the rubbish ones broke in the first week and I was like, oh come on! I'm not worried about audio quality when I'm like, you know, using the super squat machine at 105 kilograms like I was today. Didn't even hear the music. What was I saying? Oh yes, getting rid of stuff. One of the biggest challenges is gonna be reducing my cable boxes down to one box. Because everyone's got cable boxes. I've got cable boxes. There's two behind here that you can't see. Of all the cables that have ever existed. And I've got like drawers in the lounge full of cables. So I'm gonna be really strict. I'm not gonna say you can't have a cable box. What if I need a USB-B? So I'm gonna have one box, but I'm gonna be really brutal and be like, okay, you can have one of each cable and that's it. Because also it's, I mean, geez, with Amazon anyway, you can get stuff like the next day. Clothes can be pretty tough. You know what, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be completely fine because I'm gonna downsize my life to within an inch of its life. And I just think I've been really lucky with my job that I get a lot of free stuff and clothes and different things, and it's great. But actually it's a bit of a burden. It's just a lot of stuff I don't use. And like some of the happiest times of my life have been where I've like had nothing at all. And I've been really, really content. I don't know, it's this constant and endless cycle of you need more, always more. Nothing's ever enough. Nothing's ever good enough. When it should be, you know? We should all be looking in different places, but that's not how everything's designed. Everything's designed to make you feel a bit crappy so that you buy stuff, because our whole economy seems to just be on just rampant consumerism. I mean, this vlog is turning into something completely different. Downsizing, it's gonna be really interesting and terrifying. I might do a sort of, I don't know if I'm gonna do a vlog as I do it, because I think I'm just gonna go on a whim and do it as and when I feel like. I've already started turning out some books, and as someone who studied photography, I've got a lot of really big books. So they're gonna go back to my parents' house because I don't wanna really get rid of them. And they are really nice, and if I had a nice lounge, I could move them in. Most of it's like abandoned places, because I'm like obsessed with abandoned places. What's the one thing that you could never get rid of? I think I could probably live without most things. I mean, depending on where I was. I'm slightly concerned that if I move into like a small room, that I don't know what I'm gonna do with my really, really fancy 4K TV, and I'm not getting rid of it. But I also don't want it in the lounge because other people might put smear marks on it. I'm not sure I like that. Also, if I wanna do live streaming and stuff, I need to have a TV that I can put in a room that's not gonna disturb other people. I don't know, I have like literally no idea. And actually, you know what? I'm moving out in 2 months' time and I don't even care. I don't care. I've literally gone past the point of worrying about things anymore. This year has been so tumultuous, and there's been way worse things that have happened, and moving out and being in a really crap small room, I just, it's literally the least worst thing that's happened this year, so I'm just not bothered anymore. And there's been some really good stuff that's happened this year as well, so I don't want to seem ungrateful. I want to know your top 5 things you couldn't ever get rid of. Like if you were, like if the house was burning down, or you had to go on, no, not an island, you know that bit at the end of Titanic when you had to go on a door, even though they could both fit on that door and then he drowned, but spoiler alert. If you could only take 5 things on the door with you, what would you take? I think mine would be, I mean, I could live without a TV, with a laptop. So okay, laptop. If I could have like my whole setup, I'd have my proper computer, but a computer. Phone. Vlogging camera for Japes on the door. What could I, like out of everything, could I just not do without? I've got some Halo top in the freezer, but that wouldn't last. Necklace my parents gave me, and a watch my dad gave me. Although even then, if it was somewhere safe, I wouldn't mind like not having it, but I think this necklace, wait, that's 4. Ooh, what would be my last thing? That's a really difficult question, Julie, you've posed yourself. I don't know, it's like some kind of like notepad and a pen. I quite like a notepad and a pen. I'm quite happy with a notepad and a pen. I have like drawers of stationery, like unnecessary, ungodly amounts of Sharpie pens that's just unnatural. I could live most of my life with those things. I mean, obviously clothes, but I'm not fussed like which. Oh, that was really tough. I feel really emotionally drained after that conversation. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to do a vlog about it because I thought, for me, it's going to be quite an amusing challenge, and I'm sure I shall Insta story the heck out of it as I go along because lols. So yeah, what 5 things couldn't you live without if you had to absolutely, supremely and entirely downsize your whole life? Answers on a postcard? No, just put it in the comments below.